The true function of a cheesemonger is to provide excellent customer service. But to provide great customer service, we need to make sure that we're offering cross-pairing items. Pairings not only, offer your customer a new food experience, but it's also important to get those sales up and increase your basket rings. The basic principles of pairing and cross-selling are likes with likes. For example, a nice nutty manchego with a Marcona almond, or opposites attract, something like a pungent blue with a sweet honey. And also what kind of grows together, goes together. So if you think of Parmigiano Reggiano and Prosciutto di Parma, great classic pairings. But the only way to really be sure what works is to offer your customer a taste. So let's jump in and just try a couple of these great pairings.
So Nathan.
Yes.
We have a lot of what looks like cheeses that I would put on nachos here. What do we have?
These are basically like semi-soft cheeses.
Yes.
So and that's a kind of a catch-all category for a lot of cheeses that are a little bit higher in moisture content than say like your aged cheeses. Mm-hmm. So that means they do melt well.
Right.
Generally they're going to be, stored like either in wax or plastic, and that doesn't let the cheese breathe, so it's meant to be soft.
Right.
So a lot of these cheeses are great for cooking, but they're also good for table cheeses.
Noshing. So these are cheeses like Gouda, Havarti, Monterey Jack, Fontina. Okay. Not that we're going to melt them here today, but that just makes me think about a lot of kind of classic melty cheese dishes. And as I think about my pairings, they're also kind of mozzarella-like in a way because they tend to be pretty mild, buttery. But unlike mozzarella, these have a bit more tanginess to them. The flavor profile is a little bit tangier, more like a little yogurty flavor. I think that's going to make them pretty versatile for pairings.
I'm thinking they may go a little bit better with savory things, though.
Well, let's grab our plate of stuff. So, unlike the buttery, creamy cheeses we've been tasting up till now, these are all semi-soft to firm in texture. So you don't have to put them on a cracker. You can just pick the cheese up. And actually, I think that's, to me, what makes them interesting because you can put the cheese on a cracker like this, or you can make the cheese become your cracker and start to put something on top of the cheese. So that's something like I'm interested in with these smearable things. I did want to start with cheese and crackers. These are like the potato chip of cheeses to me. Like you can just...
They're easy to snack and you just keep going.
You eat the whole dang bar. But I got a cracker that is a little bit more flavorful because the cheeses are milder. So I picked a multigrain, sea salt, some seeds, but a multigrain flax cracker. The cracker has a lot of taste. So I kind of like that against these really neutral cheeses.
They need a little bit more flavor. Like I'm going with this smoked Gouda, and I'm going to try it with a little bit of pepper jelly to kick it up a little bit because I think it could use a little help as a table cheese, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think that milky, rich, buttery quality does really well with spice, I would think. Like I would think these would be really good with the spicy green beans or the spicy pickled okra that we tasted. Yes. How is it with pepper jelly?
It's perfect. I mean, because it's just enough a little sweetness to work well with the smokiness, but not one thing overpowers the other. And that's what I like about a pairing.
That's kind of unexpected too. I feel like everybody likes to put fruit paste on cheeses, and those can be great. And in fact, we have one. But this is kind of like it's like eating a nacho without the chip. You get the spicy pepper and the gooey cheese. All right, well for me, I wanted to try going in a little bit of a sweeter direction. So same idea, using the cheese as a cracker. And again, trying to not just go with the old reliable, old expected cheeses. I grabbed a pear paste, which is a little bit more delicate. It's a little bit more floral. Usually you see quince or you see fig jam, which are really sweet. So, I don't know, I thought something that was a little less amped up. I'm like, my kids would eat that all day long as an after school snack.
It is, it's just easy. Easy to eat, easy to like.
It's not like terribly complex, but it's really nice. It just goes down really easy.
Well, I'm gonna try something different.
Okay.
Really different with the dill Havarti.
Yeah, flavored cheeses are hard to pair.
I often see like on olive bars, they're gonna have dolmas. It's like, what in the world, what do they do with dolmas? I know I generally just eat a dolma, but I've never really tried to pair it with cheese. But I figured the dill and the dolma, along with the dill and the cheese, could be a bit of a like with like.
So these are grape leaves that are stuffed with seasoned rice, and the seasoning usually has a lot of herbs in it dill and mint in particular. So the dolmas itself is really herbaceous.
That's good. Quite honestly, I would add some texture to that.
Really? I can imagine it's like a little bit mealy.
It's mealy, it's really soft. The flavors I do think do work. But yeah, try that with a cracker and I think you'll be utterly surprised.
Yeah. It needs a little crispity, crunchity.
Perfect. I didn't know all this kind of stuff could go with soft cheeses.
That would be an amazing vegetarian sandwich.
Absolutely.
It's really delicious. But yeah, it needs a little bit of crunch, otherwise it's kind of mushy. For me, these are my football cheeses. These are my have them in the fridge, keep them around all the time, noshing, snacking, melting, all-purpose cheeses. They're pretty forgiving. They're not terribly complex, but they're just really versatile.
They are, and most people love them. That's the thing about it too.
People do love them. So good to have around.
Absolutely.